Alright, Shalom. Call all y'all about Shalom to the elect. I was scrolling on Twitter and I happened to see this post, but I seen this video some days ago. I've just been working and doing other stuff. But anyway, it says the CDC is now warning doctors to consider leprosy when examining patients who have traveled to Florida or elsewhere in the southeastern U.S. And see, these plagues, you're going to have different type of plagues spreading throughout Babylon. This is just one of them. And the CDC really don't control this. This ain't something that they don't conjure up in the lab or nothing like that. This goes back to biblical stuff. That's why they mention the scripture about Yahushua, which they say Jesus, but his name is Yahushua. Then you read in the book of Leviticus, which I'm going to get some precepts out of that. It mentions it even more, which goes to show these scriptures, man, they hold the truth. A lot of people will try to downplay it because they don't understand this book, but it actually holds the truth, and it has prophecy in it about these events taking place in the times that we're in right now. So let me get this real quick. Let me see. Now, I always, you Akim, Aqua, whatever, primarily you Akim, you go around people, you can always ask this question right here, especially for them bug out Christians that be going to church and don't really know what's going on, or them Jehovah's Witness people and all that stuff, because they try to counteract the precepts, but they already know the precepts. Like if you mentioned that the Lord looked a certain way, or Moses looked a certain way, or Abraham looked a certain way, or Jacob, our forefathers, they all looked a certain way. They had a certain skin tone. They try to counteract that. But this precept right here cut all that. That's in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 7. And this goes into about the leprosy too. But yeah, I'm gonna go to verse 6. So it says, and the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put it in his bosom. When he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Because basically the Most High was showing Moses about leprosy. He was teaching him about it, so he didn't know what to do and know who it mainly come from and all that. Now, in verse 7 it says, he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it returned again as his other flesh. Now, if he took it out the first time and it was leprous as snow, or what you would call white as snow, and he put it back in and it was the color as his other flesh, what color was it? What color is he? What color is his people? Because Moses went to go deliver his people, which means they look similar. Because you had Miriam, which I ain't gonna get that precept, but it speaks about how Miriam had leprosy and she had to go out in the wilderness for, I want to say 7 days if I ain't mistaken. So all that stuff about how people not being the people of the scriptures and all that is madness, because if you really go into these precepts, go into the characteristics, and it's just the way people carried themselves back then, how people have similar characteristics now. Shit, if anything, all of them for real. When you want to, even with the prophecies and the plagues that be coming upon our people, the curses. So let me see, let me go to these other precepts. Alright, let's see. Give me 1 minute, let me make sure I grab the right one I want to really go into. This book of Leviticus, chapter 14. I'm going to just read through this one right here. Book of Leviticus, chapter 14. I'm going to just read down verse 1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, this shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, at the plague, the leprosy be healed, and the leper. Then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood or cedar, but some people pronounce it different. It says, and scarlet and hyssop. And when you read these precepts, this stuff actually works. The primary thing, though, you gotta pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You gotta ask for that healing that actually guides you to make stuff the right way. Cause just because you go get this stuff don't mean it's gonna work how it's supposed to. But with the right counsel and the right usage, it's gonna work. So it says in verse 5, it says, "In the precept command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he should take it in the cedar wood and the scarlet and the hyssop, and shall dip them in the living bird and the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water." And see, they try to put a damn armadillo in there, talking about the armadillo can help out. And that shit, that ain't gonna do nothing but cause even more plagues, because armadillos, they dirty as hell. Now, in verse 7, it says, "And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shall shave off all his hair, and wash himself in the water, that he may be clean. And after that, he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days." Yeah, that's what it was, 7 days, because Miriam had to go out in the wilderness for 7 days. She had to be put away. And basically, she got it for talking shit. So you got the Most High could bring plagues on you from anything. From you scoffing about the scriptures, scoffing about his name, or messing with one of the elect, because don't nobody really know who the elect is for sure. You know, that's why I can say the hopeful elect. I don't want Ratazah, I'll be of the elect. But don't nobody really know. So people be doing shit. That's why you have to be cautious on who you do shit to and who you say stuff to, because you might be fucking with somebody that the Most High favor. You'll fuck around and give your ass leprosy. Like he did Miriam. Verse 9, it says, "But it should be on the 7th day that he should shave all his hair off his head." And I know I just read this, I'm just reading on some more. And his beard and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shall shave off, and shall wash his clothes, and he shall wash his flesh in the water, and he shall be clean. On the 8th day, he should take 2 he-lambs without blemish, 1 ewe-lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3/10 deals of fine flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, 1 log of oil, and the priest shall make him clean, shall present the man as to be made clean in those things before the wine at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And see, our people was doing this stuff in a righteous manner, and we supposed to be turning back to these ways, applying these ways, knowing about the herbs, knowing about different stuff of the earth. So you ain't gotta go to Esau for shit. Esau gonna give your ass, let me go to this video, they gonna give your ass an armadillo. And they don't say nothing about no armadillo on here when you read this, because I know they read it. Let me go back, where is that? This is what Esau gonna put in you. Let me go back some more. Yeah, look at them. They're talking about a damn armadillo. Look at this, man. You want them to put this stuff in you? Do that look really sanitary? See, it's a reason why the Most High made all these laws and gave them to Masha or Moses, so our people will know what's up. So you know what type of animals to deal with. Armadillos eat all type of filthy shit. They have all type of bacteria and stuff in them. Birds really don't be eating stuff like that. Birds, yeah, they eat a worm and bread and different little small insects and stuff like that. But they don't really eat no foul stuff like that. Lambs as well. That's why they mention it specifically. The lamb and the birds. We got the hyssop. We got the cedar wood, fine flour. Not no fucking armadillo. But that's what Esau do, man. Let me read on some more. It says in verse 12, "And the priest shall take 1 he lamb and offer him for a trespass offering, and a log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before Adawan. He should slay the lamb in the place where he should kill the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place. For as the sin offering is the priest, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy. And see, you got a lot of people, they practice different stuff too, and they go off. But they still have a zeal, which is not according to knowledge. They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge, like the precepts say. Because they be want to do stuff. That's why you see a lot of Haitian people and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and different stuff like that. They still deal with that spiritual stuff real heavy. They just be doing it on the left-hand side. Let me see what else. Let me go down to it some more. It says in verse 14, the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of the right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log oil and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. They basically breaking down the medicinal stuff of this for real. Just using the elements. In verse 16 it says, and the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle of the oil with his finger 7 times before Adawan. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him as to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before Adawan. And the priest had a real high position in Yasharala and Itzu. So that's why Moses and Aaron, they had that connection too as well. That was a real high position because the Most High really wasn't trying to deal with our people directly. Then you go down further into, our lineage. We basically get up to the prophecies about Yahushua. Yahushua being that top mediator, being that priest too as well, and being the king, all wrapped up in one. So that's why we say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because we need a mediator to pray on our behalf and also speak on our behalf so this stuff right here work. Because without that, none of this gonna work. You can go do this and do all that and none of it work. Just like back then, they needed a priest to speak on their behalf and go in the tabernacle and do what they're supposed to do. If not, it wouldn't work. You see how people got so wicked, they was just doing shit, and whenever they get fucked up, a plague break out or something happen, they already had their offering already ready and stuff because they already knew they was doing shit they had no business. Verse 20 it says, and the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering upon the altar, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. If he be poor and cannot get so much, then he should take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be weighed, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons. That's basically what we're talking about, such as he is able to get. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other one a burnt offering. Just keep in mind, this part right here, a sin offering. That leprosy come, that plague come, is from people going off. And down in them different counties down there, because I'm from there, so I know about them counties. They definitely be going off down there in them counties. Verse 23, it says, he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing unto the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and a log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Adawan. They shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right hand or right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Adawan. Now let's see. I ain't gonna read the rest of this. I just mainly want to get into the main points of knowing about the herbs and knowing why people was doing these different offerings and stuff like that, because the Most High required that. and was pleased with that. So he made sure people was healed from their ailments. Now you got Esau playing with other animals and shit that's definitely unclean. Let me see. Find something real quick. I wasn't gonna get this, but okay, this is just for example. I ain't talking about an armadillo, but when you look at it or look at his foot, you can look at that, you just know that's an unclean animal. Now it says in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7 says, "And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you." And that's not the only animal that's unclean. It's a whole bunch of them that's unclean. But you got Esau talking about, oh, because of this plague, we're going to put this in you. And this basically speaking about food, Salaki, but right here it goes into avoid the unclean. So you people down there, if y'all don't really read these precepts and try to apply them and try to call on Yahweh Shem Shah, you're gonna give your ass this armadillo plague, because that's what's gonna happen. Because ain't no telling what type of shit these motherfuckers carry. And I ain't really do too much homework on them, but I'm gonna look it up and see, because I'm quite sure it's something that they don't extract it, especially if the CDC involved don't extract some shit and they fucking around with it. So you know how that goes. Let me see. Look at this right here. So I didn't even click on this the first time. This dude said, "I moved to Florida almost a year ago. As soon as I got there, I felt the negative energy and overwhelming feeling that there would be great judgment upon this place. A feeling that I should flee soon enough. It is pretty here, and I'm actually getting used to the negative vibes somewhat." Which, hey, if he bugged out if he getting comfortable in that shit, because I know when I was down there, I was getting uncomfortable with that shit. And I was like, man, it's time to go somewhere else. Even though you go to other places and they have they horrible areas and shit too, but it ain't to the max as that shit. I say, me, just from personal experience, the most negative and bugged out places that you can really live is Florida, California, New York, and what's another area? I'm trying to think of what I've been to. It's a lot of folly going on in Chicago too, but I ain't really stayed there that long. Like I stayed in them other places, but them other places though, yeah, man, they do got some heavy judgment. It's gonna hit them places. Let me read this other part of his comment. It says, "And I'm actually getting used to the negative vibes somewhat, which is a horrible thought. I have some business to handle here. Lord's will, I will leave from here. I do not want to get comfortable with being uncomfortable." Hey, and he got the right mind frame speaking on that. One thing about Babylon will make you comfortable with uncomfortable shit. That's why this place is a place of confusion. There's a bunch of confusion going on. Now let me see. Let me get this last precept and we're going to end this off. I'm gonna get this precept right here. I was gonna get another one, but this one's sticking out to me even more. It's book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 22. It says, "And the Lord shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it. And they shall return even to the Lord, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them." So people would question why the Most High do these things to us and put us in these situations so we can call on him. That's why it's just best to just go ahead and call on him before the evil come. But let me get one more precept. My man, so I just brought it on mine. Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them," because you don't want to wait till all this judgment going on, plague spreading left and right, people dropping like flies, CDC issuing alerts and shit on people's phones and on the internet, or you might not even get no fucking alert. They might just pull the plug on the internet for a little bit just to do like a social experiment, just to see how people bug out and react. Just a whole list of shit, man. The Most High bring this place, man. Let me see. Here, one more. It's book of 1 Samuel chapter 2. In verse 6 it says, "The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bring him down to the grave and bring him up. The Lord make him rich, make him poor and make him rich. He bring him low and lift him up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set him among the princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are her outer ones, and he set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness." Which I read this precept the other day, but I've been meditating on this a lot because, man, I was making a little joke with somebody and I called it flat season. Man, if you ain't been calling on the Most High and you've been trying to apply these scriptures, these precepts to your life, you're gonna be going flat, man. You're gonna be making sure the saints and other people be straight though. They gonna have everything they want. They gonna eat good. Gonna make sure you got you some yan or whatever. Gonna make sure you got women, you got substance, you got transportation. He gonna make sure all that line up for you. Gonna keep you safe while you dwell through Babylon, while all this wicked shit going on and hitting everybody else. It ain't gonna be hitting you. Like that's how a lot of people stand out. That's how the elect gonna stand out, because people gonna know, like, hey, man, ain't none of this shit happening to them. They doing this and doing that and got this and got that. Then they're gonna be trying to inquire. They really gonna want to hear, because our people don't want to just hear words. They can't just hear words and have faith. They gotta see signs and shit. Let's see. We'll read on some more. It says, "For by strength shall no man prevail." And I wasn't even gonna get this, but hey, it just came to me. So the water y'all by Shah. Verse 10 it says, "The adversaries of our one shall be broken into pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth and shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed." And you starting to see that, man. I'm quite sure I can got testimonies of how y'all get delivered in situations and how you get raised up from less to having way more. Certain brothers, they done been in situations where it seem like they can never get up out of that shit, but the Most High pull you up out of it just so you can have a testimony and share with people and boost their faith up. It ain't just about yourself or myself, none of that. It's about Yahweh Shah, word going out, and them prophecies come to pass, so the elect can get sealed, their faith will be strong, and all these events take place, and the elect get delivered and get pulled up out of here, out of Babylon. That's the main goal for real, getting up out of this bitch, because ain't nothing but judgment taking place, man. Plagues, storms, hurricane season ain't one in the full swing yet, but best believe them hurricanes about to sweep through the islands and knock some shit out. Then you already know when the power go out. I want to say, what area was it? I can't think of that area right now. When that power go out, the morgues lose electricity, then it be fucking viruses popping out of that shit. Some places got grave sites to get flooded. in the water and pull them caskets up out of there, them bodies up out of the ground. And that's more shit in the water. I remember down in the Bahamas, there's a plague going on. I want to say it was called, it wasn't a bubonic plague, it was called something else. I can't think of the name. I think it was called cholera. That's what it was called. And people was dropping dead from that shit. So, hey man, more plagues coming. The Most High stirring this stuff up with the elect being sealed. I just want to bring this up since I seen this video online. I was scrolling, looking through some articles and stuff. Out of one, edifying, call all y'all about Shalom.